Everyone at some point has come across an inappropriate comment or adult joke in a video game intended for children. In fact, it's even quite prevalent in children's movies to the point that, upon reaching adulthood, some people's minds are blown at the inappropriate humor which went right over their heads as kids. As long as the kids don't understand, no harm, no foul, right? Before we get into this video, be sure to subscribe to The Gamer and ring that bell to stay up to date with all things gaming. Without further ado, here are 10 dirty adult moments hidden in the most surprising games. Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong titles are pretty kid-friendly. As an adventure platformer, players guide Donkey Kong through a variety of levels, completing puzzles and minigames on the way to rescue his friends from K. Rool. K-Rool? K-Rool? Ah, screw it, I'm saying K-Rool, I always like that better. Any combat performed by Donkey Kong is cartoonish, and there's no real threat which could potentially terrify children. The most frightening thing in any Donkey Kong title is Cranky Kong, and it's simply because he's old and tired of everything. Then there's Candy from Candy's Music Shop. She's, pretty well endowed for a children's game and wearing a flashy outfit which bears some primate skin, but it's nothing a kid hasn't already seen on MTV in any pop music video at that point. Do you not know what MTV is? Man, now I'm starting to feel like Cranky Kong. Everything is bananas with Candy right up until she enters the room with a seductive strut and says, "I'll take real good care of you, Donkey Kong." Just 3 coins and you get to see a musical instrument and a melon too. While she's talking about teaching him how to play bongos, yes, we're serious, there is a giggle off in the background alluding to the fact that the bongos probably aren't the only thing she wants to show him. Luckily, this innuendo will probably go right over any kid's head until they're a little older and a little wiser. They might feel funny around primates and crop tops for a while, though. Ugh. Super Mario RPG. Throughout the Mario franchise, Princess Peach has been a peach. She's delicate yet strong in the face of constant kidnappings and rules over the Mushroom Kingdom with a kind touch. In spite of dealing with Bowser, she's a force to be reckoned with, all while maintaining her femininity, and fans of the Mario franchise absolutely adore her. Princess Peach has never given fans a reason to doubt her innocence. However, Super Mario RPG seems to bring more of her personal life to light when Mario enters Peach's room, also referred to as Toadstool's room in the game. While in there, Mario can poke around the room and inspect various items there. He can also come across Grandma, a kind little toad who can heal Mario if he talks to her. If Mario searches between the chair and the fireplace, he'll find an item called Toadstool's ? Apparently, this is a deeply personal item belonging to Princess Peach, and Grandma will immediately offer him a mushroom if he forks it over and minds his own business. No one's really certain of what this questionable item is or why Princess Peach wants it hidden, but it is in a bedroom, so fans can go ahead and use their imagination. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Any Legend of Zelda game can be considered kid-friendly. The combat isn't gory, and the storyline is the traditional battle against evil, which is prevalent in most pop culture stories. Link himself is an all-around decent guy just trying to save Hyrule or Zelda, and the worst thing he can possibly do is smack a cuckoo upside the head with a sword. Link is a well-loved character, and it's not just fans of the franchise who have a soft spot for him. Most of the ladies in the Legend of Zelda franchise harbor a crush on the little tunic-wearing sprite. There's just one issue. In some cases, Link is portrayed as being underage, and a few of the Hyrule ladies go overboard considering his age. When Link comes across Nabooru for the first time, again as a child, in Ocarina of Time, she's obviously very much older than he is. If Link promises to help her, she states that she'll do something great for you. Of course, Nabooru is kidnapped before she can show Link what this great thing is. When Link crosses paths with her again, as an older teen in this case, she notes how handsome he is. If it isn't just a tad creepy, she states that she should have kept the promise I made back then. We have a feeling Link needs to nope right the hell out of that situation and call Chris Hansen. Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter may seem like a game for grade schoolers upon first inspection. The characters look adorable, and it's a story-based platformer, which are popular amongst children, but the game itself does have a teen rating. While it may not make it a bloody, nudity-filled battlefield of constant combat, it definitely does push boundaries. However, with the teen rating, the developers could only go so far with their adult-themed humor, so they took every opportunity to fill their title with innuendos. Okay, so there's even a portion of the game where Daxter gets drunk at Crew's place. Surely nothing a teen has never witnessed before. Of course, the game is filled with playful roasting between the characters throughout the game. There's a portion of the game where Jak is being challenged to beat the best score. Daxter obviously cannot let this moment go to waste and immediately pops off with, "Oh, don't worry, Jak beats things all the time." Nope, Daxter is definitely not talking about high scores here. Some teens might not make the connection, but it's definitely a sexually charged innuendo Daxter's dropping on players. It's not too overboard in the adult humor sense, thankfully. Mega Man Legends 2. The Mega Man franchise has always been rated E for everyone. As Mega Man Volnut in Mega Man Legends 2, players explore ruins to find refractors. He works alongside Roll Casket, who is searching for her missing parents. Pretty standard gameplay for any Mega Man title and seemingly kid-friendly, right? Well, there's a portion of Mega Man Legends 2 where Mega Man acts inappropriately towards Roll. Having not played the game, some people may think it's merely accidental, but Mega Man is given ample warning before being a total creeper, which makes it even more uncomfortable. In the game, Data tells Mega Man that Roll is taking a bath. Mega Man may enter the bathroom at this point in spite of being told that Roll is in the bathtub. If he does, Roll will yell at him to get out. Upon leaving the bathroom, Mega Man will pump his fist to triumphant music as if he's actually proud of his voyeuristic behavior toward his friend. Sure, Mega Man and Roll have a romantic relationship later in the game, but it's some seriously creepy behavior on his part. Who thought it was okay to put that in a children's game? Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. Oh, how the ladies of Hyrule love Link, even if he is occasionally a minor. We're keeping an eye on you, Nabooru. In some instances, it seems as though Link has love for the ladies as well. While there's nothing wrong with a little romance in a video game, age differences aside, it's a strange addition to games primarily played by children. Then there's Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, and what an adventure this little dude has. In-game, Link will come across a healing lady who wears a sultry red dress which shows enough pixelated cleavage to make Link's tunic tight. She, of course, offers to heal Link by restoring his health to full power. Seems innocent enough, since fairies flit around healing Link like crazy, right? There's just one catch. She wants Link to follow her into her house. Players can't enter the house with Link either. It's just Link and the mysterious woman in red hanging out in her little shanty doing devil knows what. Eventually, Link emerges from the house fully healed and ready to go again. Why couldn't she heal him outside the house? Players can only guess that whatever went on in there is less regular healing and more sexual healing. Captain Rainbow. Captain Rainbow is a bit of a strange game. It was released on the Wii, but only in Japan. Players would control a guy named Nick, who had an alter ego, Captain Rainbow. Captain Rainbow was once a popular movie superhero, and Nick must find a way to regain his popularity. Yep, just another standard Nintendo game which is a little wacky and a lot of fun. Did we mention that Birdo makes an appearance? Apparently in Captain Rainbow, Birdo has been arrested and needs the player's help getting out of jail. Typical troubles arise for Birdo when the officers are uncertain of whether Birdo is a girl or a boy. After she exits the women's restroom, the police officers arrest her since they think she's a he. So what's a player to do? Well, they have to go to Birdo's house and find items to prove that she is in fact a girl. Easy peasy, right? Once at Birdo's house, players may think they're looking for a form of identification or something else which might prove that Birdo's a girl. But what's that? Oh, it's just Birdo's pillow and it's vibrating. Wait, what? When players pull out this pulsating item, it's covered with a question mark. What could Birdo be hiding under her pillow which vibrates and would prove to the police that she's a woman? Guess we'll never know. Pokémon Sun and Moon. The Pokémon franchise is meant for children. Even though adults play Pokémon games, the marketing and merchandise are clearly targeting children. That said, every aspect of the Pokémon franchise, from the games to the television show, are brimming with innuendos. Brock, Nurse Joy, and Officer Jenny, anyone? Let's just say it was difficult to pick just one instance of an adult moment in the entire Pokémon franchise. Anyway, Pokémon Sun and Moon seem to be filled with either very poor translations which simply sound dirty, or the developers knew exactly what they were unleashing on unsuspecting kids. For example, Lana states, "The flavor from the rare bone seems to fill my whole mouth." I know it's an actual quote, but I can't believe you guys just made me say that. Okay, so our minds are in the gutter, but what about these other examples? Professor Kukui gets very serious about his experiments and sports some questionable lab attire, which is probably not very safe. He regularly encourages Pokemon to try out their moves on his rock-hard abs while exclaiming, "Oh yeah, Rockruff, give it everything you got. My body is ready." Alright, 2 for 2 on the weird quotes. Keep it in your pants, Professor. Children are present. And lastly, a female character pops off with this little gem. If I'm wearing a bikini, where do I put my Pokeballs? Teehee, woman's secret. Alright, that's the last one. Next entry, please. Ratchet and Clank. Believe it or not, Ratchet and Clank is rated E for everyone with a 10 years and over warning. The characters, again, are adorable, and the first game in the franchise didn't cross too many lines into adult territory either. After the first title, however, all bets are essentially off. The Ratchet and Clank series boasts titles such as Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, Size Matters, and Quest for Booty, just to name a few. In Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, Ratchet and Clank come across a character that states innocently enough, "My daughter tells me you're a man who's good with his hands, Ratchet." It's a fair compliment, as Ratchet and Clank have a lot of fighting and puzzles under the belts at this point in the franchise. However, Ratchet's response is dripping with innuendo when he replies, "Sir, I swear, I never." Which can only mean one of two things. Either he misunderstood what the character was saying, or he's trying to get out of admitting that he laid hands on the guy's daughter. In another instance of adult humor, Up Your Arsenal has a scene where Quark admits to spending time with a monkey. It's the following line that will leave younger players scratching their heads. Quark states, "It was mating season. How could I have known she was your sister?" The Adventure of Willy Beamish. Most gamers probably haven't heard of this game. It was released in the 1990s for the PC at the time, and rest assured it was entirely intended for children. In The Adventure of Willy Beamish, players would control a Dennis the Menace-style character named Willy, of course. He's a typical 9-year-old obsessed with video games, science fiction, and hanging out with his pals in their treehouse. Not much to see here. Of course, he does have a pet frog named Horny, but okay, some kids are just weird. Anyway, the game itself isn't too terrible. There are points where Willy is tormented by the usual childhood issues, like bullies, peppered in with a few low-key innuendos which aren't as ridiculous as some of the other items on this list. Okay, so Willy does hand one kid a game system and tells him to go play with himself because he'll enjoy it. The game does, however, grow slightly more brutal over time, such as when Willy is attacked and gets his arms and legs broken. Then there's the nurse. Hello, nurse! Let's just say that the nurse has ample assets stuffed into her teeny tiny nurse uniform. Some of her behaviors are also reminiscent of Mary Kay Letourneau though, and did we mention that she's, a little gravity-defying in a certain area? Maybe Willy gets beat up just so he can visit the nurse. So, what's the most inappropriate thing you've seen in a surprising game? Are there any adult jokes in other games that we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to click the subscribe button so you can keep up with all of our videos. Thanks for watching.